Okay, so I can conclude that you have money from the Google, Yahoo, and etc. And then the second is you have money from the donation.
That's right.
That's right. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Cool. Does anybody else have any questions about this circles? Cool. Okay, so does that sort of explain what the foundation is a little bit? Sure. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, because of this kind of structure, and because the Mozilla Foundation up here is less concerned with just delivering Firefox, we're more concerned about making sure the web stays open and free, and that people can contribute to it. And so I don't generally only put Facebook posts up. So every once in a while I will write something on Facebook and put it on the internet. But if I want to make a web page, then I need to have some skills in order to do that. I need to know how to code. I need to know how servers work. I need to know stuff like this in order to make it kind of work. Mozilla Foundation is trying to make all of that much easier for people so that they don't have to learn all of those skills in order to put something online and to take part in this conversation. So if I really want to make a web page, then I shouldn't have to learn all of this stuff first. It should be pretty easy. But if I do want to learn all that stuff, there should be good ways for me to engage with a community of other people that will facilitate that. And I think that Rada and Nina are actually a big part of that in showing people how to learn about web technology, how to get involved in that community so that they can understand a little bit more about how that all works. And so that's sort of the goal of the Mozilla Foundation. And so now we have something like so this is my pretty boring Android phone. And we traveled the world for a while and did some research and found out that a lot of people use Android phones. And so we built an application called Webmaker on it. And we're continuing to do research with this program that we created so that people can access the web and create web pages without knowing anything about code, without knowing anything about all of this stuff, so that they can make stuff, they can share it with their friends, they can have conversations about whatever they want to without having to stick inside of Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or something like that. They can make a web page online with their mobile phone and then share it with other people. Is any of that too fast? Too fast?
No.
Yes. Okay. So let's see what else I have to talk about here. What's next here? Software. Okay, so how many people, so we figured out that people use Chrome in this room, right? That's still true. How many people have used Webmaker? How many people know what Thimble is? You know what Thimble is. That's cool. Can you speak up a little?
You talk about the symbol of Webmaker Android, right?
It's so yeah, Thimble, like this thing. That drawing, like a thimble. That goes on your finger. Thimble? Okay, so, yeah. Thimble. Like that. Yeah. Okay, so, we created a bunch of pieces of software so that we could try to achieve a little bit more of that mission. And so Thimble is one of them. There's Popcorn. There's App Maker. Can anyone guess what this one does? What do you do with App Maker? Just guess. So we made these 3 pieces of software plus one called X-ray goggles, and all of them are interesting. This one's pretty interesting. If this was a web page, I can take X-ray goggles and I can turn it on this web page, and I can see what the web page is made of. So if I turned that on, it would show me what this piece of code is. It would show me this background color change. It would show me how to change the text. It would show me how to add an image. So X-ray goggles is sort of our first stab at teaching people how to make stuff and understand the web without learning how to code first. So this still exists. That's pretty cool. App Maker is a project, like you guessed, that was for making apps on your phone. And we also wanted to avoid teaching people how to code. So you could go onto your computer, you could connect a bunch of things. Has anybody used Scratch before? Scratch. Cool. Who still uses Scratch? Do people still use Scratch? Okay, so Scratch is a really big inspiration for us because you don't have to know how to write C++, Java. So we created App Maker so that people can do the same kind of things they can in Scratch, but for making an app on its own. And has anybody used App Inventor? App Inventor. Okay, so there's a thing called App Inventor, and it's by the Scratch people, and it lets you create Android apps by using Scratch. So it's cool, but it's super old. And so App Maker was a thing we tried to do to bring all of that thinking into like the modern age of the web. And so we took it down recently because we figured out that nobody wanted to do that. And it was an interesting exercise because we found that people who were passionate about learning about how to create these things can use App Maker for a little while. But as soon as they want to do something complex, it was too difficult for us to deliver any of that to them, and the users drop off right away. So far, we got rid of that project. There was one called Popcorn. When you go to a movie theater and you go to see a movie, you buy popcorn and you eat it, and that's the name. It's for making movies on the web. And so if you took a movie on your phone and you put it on YouTube, or you put it on Vimeo or something like that, or if you recorded a sound, or if you recorded your friends playing guitar, you can put it on SoundCloud, and then you can put it inside of Popcorn, and you can add stuff. And that stuff would be a web page. So essentially, you could take a web page and add sound effects and movies and stuff to it, and then make it act along with the movie or the soundtrack. And that was also really cool. People found that they wanted to try to do this kind of thing. They learned a bunch from it, but they had the same kind of problems as App Maker. Once you get to a certain point, it's hard to crack open Popcorn because it's so complicated. So, unfortunately, that went away. But we still have this one, and this one's really interesting because this has been around for a really long time now, and it suffered the same kinds of problems that like App Maker and Popcorn did, in that it was too simple. And Thimble is a code editor. And has anybody, you had used the code editor, obviously. Has anybody written any code in their whole life? Yes? No? Yeah. What did you use to write that code? Java? When you wrote the Java, what was the program you wrote it in? Notepad. Okay, so Notepad is a text editor, but Notepad is sort of secretly also a code editor because you can write code in Notepad. So what would happen if you took Notepad and make it a little less simple, and you added some features to it that let it show you a little bit about how to code? So if you had Notepad and let's say you typed something like, I'm going to write a tiny bit of HTML. If I wrote like a p tag and I wanted to say hello, and then I wrote something else, Notepad would not care. It would say cool and save the file. But we wrote Thimble so that you could do the same kind of thing, and then Thimble would say to you, you missed something. And then it would say, look, that you're not closing this tag properly. And so it would encourage you to put this there. Right? So that's pretty useful. So we kept it around, but it was still a little too simple. It was having the same problems as these ones, in that you could get to a certain point, and as soon as you started wanting to make things a little bit more complex, you ran into some barriers. But it was promising. And so we just very recently released a new version of Thimble that is a much more robust code editor. And we're hoping that people will find that really attractive and be able to make entire web pages with it. And it has tutorials, it has a bunch of help how to go along with it. So if you're interested in that at all, look for it online, firstly. But also, I can talk to you a little bit about it. I'm a huge code geek, so I can talk to you about that stuff if you like. So this is cool. This is like the last 6 or 7 years of the Mozilla Foundation. So there's a new thing that we've been creating called WebMaker, and all of this stuff used to be called WebMaker, but we created a new project that takes all of the ideas from all of these things that we crossed out, and we created a new product. And it's something that works just on your phone. And I talked a little bit about it before, but it's a way to create web pages, put them online, share them with people, and you have to write no code. And so we're hoping that it has a better chance than these two things at getting people to create stuff and staying there because they're able to create complex enough stuff and share it with people and learn while they're doing it. There's a lot of talking. Does anybody have any thoughts about any of this stuff? No? Any questions? So, what was cool? That's fun. What was really interesting about this whole exercise, though, is that over the course of building all of this and crossing them out and doing all of that, we had to work really closely with people in the open. And Mozilla, who knows what open source is? Open source? Open source? Open source.